Hello. As you can see, it's a slightly different environment for our podcast. We're back at Hale Barnes Cricket Club for the first time in months. We're extremely happy to be back, and obviously under the current circumstances, it's great to know with the announcement this week as well by the government that we should hopefully have some cricket sometime soon. So what we're going to be doing today is going over sort of pre-season almost. I know it's July, but yeah, we'll be doing a pre-season, what we're sort of putting in place, how we've coped with COVID-19 and the changes that are going to have to be made. We've currently got a group of lads outside who are training in their reduced groups of 6 apiece and socially distant, so we've got one group of lads up in the net and one over here doing some fielding, so we'll hopefully skip to that at some point during this video. Well, as you can see, each individual has got their own ball, so they start by throwing the ball into the coach, who catches it gloved and then hits it so there's minimal contact. Like I said, each player has got their own ball. Eunice is trying to hide because he's been farcical out there. Good catch. I'm here again with our first team skipper, Tommy. He obviously has been integral in trying to get everything organised for either this weekend or next weekend, depending on when we can actually get a game organised. So I think some of the measures that we've done include the constant use of hand sanitizer, which is, you may be able to see a little bit over there behind Tommy. There's face masks, there's gloves being used. And like I said before, the reduced training sessions of just 6 people per group. And we have a maximum of 12 that are 40 metres apart in terms of the 2 groups. So I think with that in mind coming forward, we'll definitely be trying to put more of these podcasts out now, because we'll be trying to be around a little bit more, we'll be able to do them here. And yeah, I think with Tommy, I think it's more about his thoughts on the season and what he is hoping for in terms of cricket this year. So I think that's probably a good place to start. Your aspirations, your expectations of the next sort of 10 days and of what we're hopefully going to be able to be doing in terms of playing actual competitive cricket.
Yeah, the next 10 days is just, at the minute we don't know. That's the simple story of it really. It's a case of, obviously we're waiting on a government announcement or from the ECB to release obviously their info, what that's going to be. At the minute we don't really know whether that's going to be 11 aside, 8 aside, T20s, 40 overs, T10s, 2 T20s a day. At the minute it's a bit of a guessing game, isn't it? So for the next 10 days, wait for that info to come through, see what it is, adapt to it, and we're trying to prepare for all scenarios. What we are comfortable with is that we've got a core group of 20 players, 22 players, hopefully a few more. Plus obviously the boys who've kind of been represented on Sunday over the past couple of years, who are kind of all ready to go really. So we're ready for whatever announcement comes. I think we'd all like some kind of competitive league cricket. But as I've been saying to anyone who listened the last few days, everyone's been locked up for 3 or 4 months. You haven't played since September. Let's just get out and play. I think is really what I'm thinking now. I don't care. To be honest, I just want to get out and play.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus, isn't it? Is that we're going to get some cricket in at some point, whether it's this weekend or next weekend. We know that our groundsman Ian is frantically trying to prepare pitches and wickets, and it's even harder at the minute because the weather is quite frankly awful. I mean, it's sunny out there now, but how long it remains sunny for, I don't know.
We've got lucky tonight.
We have got lucky. So I think groundsmen round the country are currently panicking about trying to get pitches ready for this time of year. So it'll be interesting to have an April style pitch in the first game in July.
Yeah.
But I think for what we can do is we can just sort of sit and wait. It's currently the 6th of July. It's the 6th of July, isn't it? Monday the 6th. Yeah. So I believe that there is an announcement
Yeah,
Wednesday,
they
Thursday?
said earlier this week, I think they're going to release some info. I think
Right.
Cheshire League are meeting, executive Zoom meeting on Wednesday maybe.
That'd be it.
Whether that'll be any use to us or not, you'd imagine so. I think they'll definitely try and get some kind of competitive cricket in. Obviously, we've been told already there'll be no promotion or relegation. They made that call very early on in the process in March maybe. So, we know it's not going to be relegation promotion, which, as a captain or as key players who live it, it takes that pressure off of relegation at least. But obviously that wasn't where we were aiming. But it's always a little bit of weight off the shoulders, isn't it? But you never quite know what can happen. But it'd be, hopefully, I think it'll be T20s. I think that's what we'll be, and I think that'll suit us as well.
Definitely.
With some of the players we have.
Lack of fitness.
Not great at the field. Not great at running between the wickets.
But I mean,
so tailor-made.
That's stuff
We've got some lads who can hit to mid-wicket, so it might be alright.
Exactly, yeah. That thing that you do early season where you try and do your drills, we haven't really had time to do that. It's still hard to do running drills at this point, trying to maintain social distancing and also with smaller areas to do all that stuff in. So I think T20 would be a great idea with plenty of rumours out there of playing multiple T20s a day. So whether that be local teams put together and you all go and play at one ground or something like that, we're just sort of sat and waiting. So whilst we know we're going to be playing some cricket at some point soon, we're very much in limbo at the minute for what that cricket is going to be, how that's going to be organised, who we're going to be playing. And I know that there's plenty of clubs around Cheshire and probably around the country. We're in Cheshire, so we focus mainly on Cheshire. That's where we get our news from. It's where we sort of look to. So a lot of the other Cheshire clubs out there, I've seen some on Twitter and stuff that are advertising that they will be playing friendlies at the weekend, which I think is great.
Yeah.
I think especially after last year and the momentum that grassroots cricket took on with that successful World Cup, this has come at possibly the worst time for a club like ours, especially with a smaller club. We had loads of all-stars last year, and those kids haven't really had the chance this year to build on their experiences of last year. So I think it's pivotal that we're able to play some cricket of any form, of any context, of any level. And I think also with the promotion relegation and the drop-off of that and not having to worry about that, it means that some of the younger lads that wouldn't necessarily get a game in, say, the first team, they would play second team. You could give them a go. You could get them introduced to first team cricket, to that standard of cricket, because it is a jump, and I think it's a jump that you don't really realise until you've done that, especially at a younger age. I think for second team, especially at our level, you can play against sort of 2 or 3 very good players, but then it's a mixture of younger guys that are up and coming, and then maybe older guys that are on their way out. So first team is where you're playing against what you would imagine are the 11 best players at the club that you're playing against. So it gives you an idea of the standard that you want to hit. And I just think overall it's great to get some cricket. Hopefully we get some decent weather, because as we know,
it's going to rain.
August has never been the greatest weather month for us. So I think really and overall the uplift and the uptake of these sessions that we've got going on at the minute is great, because I'm looking outside now, there are a group of lads who are all 16, 17, 18 that are down here training because they want to play cricket, and that's great to see.
And some of them are lads who we haven't seen,
and
who haven't trained with seniors as well, so that who are looking to bridge that gap between under 15s, for example, or maybe a little bit of Sunday cricket, who are kind of it's always tough when you've only got 2 Saturday teams like we do, and both need to be competitive. So hopefully iron sharpens iron, and having those guys training with the older guys, or just being in and around that environment, especially now when it's a bit of a strange atmosphere and everyone's a bit happier and there's no pressure on winning or losing, and
no one's disappointed that they're playing cricket. Everyone's actually happy to play cricket,
which makes a change.
Which you don't normally get in July. You don't normally get that feeling in July. There's normally about 3 people on the brink of retirement. One bloke that's loving life because all of a sudden he's got loads of wickets or runs.
Joe Cooper.
Normally. And then like I said, there's 6 or 7 other blokes that are just showing up because they're in the routine now and they're trying to get away from the missus. So it's It's been great. I mean, it's been great to see cricket back. It's been great to see people really getting out there and really trying hard, and the work that the committee's done as well. I have to say, our chairman Matt, our cricket chairman Callum, Tommy, our second team skipper Tom Entwistle as well. Those guys have been pivotal in actually getting us to a point. I mean, I've mentioned Ian, and obviously Ian is there. He's the guy that's able to come and sort the ground out. He's the one that makes this all happen in some ways, because without him we wouldn't have pitches. Shout out to Molly as well, because I think he's been down today and cut the outfield, and it looks lovely.
The ground looks great. Obviously, there hasn't been a cricket on it to dig it up or anything, but it looks great. And obviously, it's never easy when there's no cricket to be played, and we've kept the ground in really, really good condition. And sooner rather than later, it's going to be ready to go, and the pitches will be good, and the outfield will be quick. It's going to be hopefully good cricket when we do it.
Yeah, there's definitely a host of unsung heroes that have worked throughout local cricket in the past sort of 3 or 4 months to get this over the line. That is committees, that is...
And it's definitely also that stuff like you've not signed up for. It's like there's some charter territory for everyone, and obviously that you have people in the committee who are used to doing certain roles, but whereas now a lot of it now is reading guidance and reading paperwork and reading that guidance. There's a lot of like ifs and buts, and if this can be done, well, so it's always quite, especially that's where having someone like Matt's been really great.
Yeah.
He's got that attention to detail, which maybe I'll just skip over and just say it's fine. But having people like Matt and Colin who will look at those details and we'll do everything we can to ensure that it's a safe place to be for everyone. And obviously everyone's got different thresholds for what they consider safe, and we need to apply to all of them really. So we're reading all the guidance, and it's quite laborious at times and it's quite hard to interpret, but hopefully when everyone does come down, whether it's socially to come and watch or to play or to train, everyone feels safe most importantly, and we can all get back to enjoying cricket.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for smaller clubs like this, it is the social side of cricket as well that helps maintain clubs, run clubs. The money that's made over here behind the bar goes a long way to maintaining our cricket. So
and also, one thing to really say is we've been really lucky that we've had members continue to pay their direct debit, and I'd just like to take this opportunity now to say thank you to every single person who's carried on paying their monthly fees, because without that we'd be in serious trouble right now. And so obviously thank you to everyone who's done that, because it comes out of your own pocket, and having nothing to show for that. So hopefully when we're allowed, we'll be able to repay you all with a very good social, and hopefully give you as many games as possible.
Obviously going to that, put some pressure on me as social chairman
to
throw a hell of a party. So yeah, I've got that to look. Luckily I'm not going to be playing cricket for a while, as I've got some dodgy legs going on.
Don't show them.
I'm not showing them off, no, I've shown them off enough today. So yeah, I think the unsung heroes, we thank the unsung heroes are also those club members that haven't been down here, and that have
also Mike Hunter as well for the work he's done.
I'm working on it. I'm getting to there. But yeah, Michael is obviously an unsung hero. It is, and I think that moves on to the volunteers that have helped maintain the ground, that have helped get everything ready for the cricket season, sorting out side screens, cutting grass like Molly does, and setting up nets, doing the covers. Just generally, I mean, we've been lucky in a sense that we've been able to give the clubhouse a bit of a facelift and uplift as well. We've got some painting out there. Mike's done all sorts. We've been able to get the roof fixed. It's in some ways it's been a nice little respite from cricket to be able to focus on the stuff that we love really, which is our clubhouse, and we take a lot of pride in that. It may not be the most glamorous of place, but it's ours.
It's got atmosphere.
It's got atmosphere. It's where we've shared a lot of good memories as teams. It's where we've shared some pretty bad memories as teams, but overall we tend to think of the good ones. So I just think overall we're all very, very happy to be having cricket back. And I think one of the big things for us as well is getting an active junior sort of training sessions, getting active, getting the juniors back in to playing again, and just getting them ticking over, getting these kids excited about cricket, because at the end of the day, us lot who are pushing 30, are not going to be around. Yeah, are not going to be around. Sort of, we're not youngsters anymore. I still think I'm 18 sometimes, but generally, generally we want to try and get those lads, those 14, 15, 16-year-old lads, playing as much cricket as possible, finding out how great a game this is, and sort of taking it on and hopefully knocking us out of teams in the next few years, and we can go and play some cricket that's a little bit more enjoyable in the seconds.
And also, as a touch on that, as a club, like you've got to take the positive out of all of this, and obviously having a break from it isn't a good thing, but hopefully it reinvigorates everyone. It can be tough, especially I think that from a first team point of view, it's been quite pressured 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Especially for me for 2 years, but for you guys with promotion year before as well. Like, hopefully it's just giving everyone a bit of a break. And from the first and second, the twos have been top of the league and pushing promotion 3-4 years in a row. So hopefully people like Gaz and people like that, it gives them a bit of a break. And they can just recharge a little bit and come back in. And I think both senior teams may benefit from it actually. I don't think we'll lose any players from it. So hopefully, in the long term, it will actually be a blessing in disguise. But we'll see.
So yeah, sorry, we've been interrupted by one of our members. Even though I told him to go and fill up his water bottle elsewhere, he decided not to. And
that sums up Sam Smith.
That sums up Sam Smith, yeah.
And his mullet.
Yeah.
Can we get his mullet on actually whilst we're recording?
It's not really a mullet, is it? It's not long enough.
No, but it looks that bad.
I think.
We'll see that another time.
Yeah, we'll see that another time. But no, I think overall it's a big shout out to every club in Cheshire, every club in the country, every groundsman, every committee, everyone that's really made cricket happen this year. We know it's difficult, and we know that it's going to change drastically how we play the game. You'll be looking for the sweatiest person in the team now to shine the ball.
That's an excuse for me to not keep.
Yeah.
Because I sweat.
Oh, so do I. I mean, we all sweat. We're all horribly unfit, aren't we?
Don't get sweat, surely.
But yeah,
Sure.
so I don't think there's a huge amount more to say in terms of what we've done, who we're thanking, and that type of stuff. And
No.
I think what we'll try and do now is just give you a bit of an idea of what's going on at the club and what's happening.
I think
Like we're saying, it's just we're very thankful for everyone who's been part of this. At every club, I think every club out there will have their individuals that they know who they're talking about, and they know who they mean when they're saying that without this, or without those people, cricket wouldn't happen, especially at a local level, at a village level, at an amateur level.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the ECB is we've got a test match starting on Wednesday, which I think everyone is thrilled about, but overall we're just happy to be able to come down to our local clubs, spend some time with our mates, which again is another big thing, and just get some cricket going, just get some cricket going, get that feeling back, and hopefully we'll get at least a decent chunk of games, somewhere between 8 and 12 games in at least throughout the next couple of 3 months.
And this should also hopefully touch wood link into a media opportunity which you should hear some news about soon, which will all tie in, which will make sense of how we're doing it. So I agree, it may not have been the most exciting podcast ever, but it will make sense soon. And what the future plans, Phil, for the podcast? Put you under a bit of pressure. Where we're going with it?
So I think future plans will be we'll just, like I said, I can't play at the minute, so I'll be spending a bit of time on Saturdays down here and Sundays trying to get some footage and maybe just discussing general cricketing issues. We can actually start doing some normal podcasts, I think, rather than sort of trying to generate stuff just for the sake of generating it in a sense. We can talk about those things that every cricketer talks about, which is your tees, nets, teammates, changing room etiquette, cricket matches, your favourite cricket matches,
favourite console games.
Exactly. So yeah, that type of stuff, which is a little bit more light-hearted, a little bit more we can base it around cricket. We'll get some more members on. I think there's been a few people that have talked or shown an interest in getting on.
We'll get Sado and his snapback back on at some point, which I know went down very well.
We will get Sado and his snapback and his Peroni, obviously, back very, very soon. So yeah, I think his last words were, "I'll give it a rest for a little while," but I'm sure he's itching away to have a chat.
To get back on.
Yeah.
Stage,
So yeah, just a thank you to everyone out there, a thank you to everyone that's watching, and yeah, if you want, you can give it a like, you can give us a follow. Hopefully there'll be a bit more stuff, and also look out for a simulation game between our teams of the 80s and 90s versus the team of the 2000s and
also
2010s.
to any past players who watch the other podcasts and have happened to watch this one, come down to the club when we're playing and support us, because I can't say how much as a current player, it's really important that we merge the past with the club and the present and the future. And hopefully it'd be really good to kind of see more of the former first team players, former legends who Dave spoke so well about over the last, the 2 podcasts we did. Get yourself down here. I'll buy you all 1 beer each, which is for me is a big thing.
That's incredible.
So, yeah, if you made one of those teams and you've not Ben Hicks, Ben Stanleyforth or Joe Cooper, I'll buy you a beer. Or Dave Shallington.
Or what?
No, I'll buy Molly one. Molly's okay.
Right, so on that note, we'll leave it there, and again, thank you for watching and tuning in.